Ooh, we got a massive pod today. We are talking USL Championship Final. We're talking Rising roster announcements, and we are doing our own PHNX Rising End of the Year Awards.
You're getting some shrimp pizza in for this, Max.
See you in 30. And coming to you live from Studio K, presented by our friends over at Circle K. It's the PHNX Rising podcast. Appreciate everyone joining us on a Tuesday evening, not a Wednesday. We are here on Tuesday. We got the lads all in studio, full house. I am, of course, Max David Simpson. To my left, your right, we got Owen the Oracle Evans.
Hello. That wasn't as loud as I was expecting.
No. I didn't want to break the eardrums. We already did a level test. It is what it is. Of course,
very thoughtful. Very thoughtful.
To my right, your left, we have Reese, the stat lackey,
the glizzy guzzler,
the hot dog heaver,
Max Shrimpy Shrimp Simpson.
The Deming Dynamo.
Nice.
That's Max.
Max
Max said he'd rather live in Deming than watch another North London derby ever again.
That's fair.
Honestly, he did actually say that, to be fair.
Not far off. Of course, we have Ayrton behind the brand redacted computer, pushing the ones and twos and all that jazz. We got a lot going on. Appreciate everyone in the chat. Make sure to hit that like button on your way in. Deborah in the chat. Hello. Happy Thanksgiving. Appreciate you, everyone listening. Again, hit that like button on your way in. We got a ton to talk about. But let's start with the big match that we saw for the USL Championship Final. It was something. It was something. FC Tulsa, Pittsburgh Riverhounds, a rousing 0-0. Goes to pens. Pittsburgh wins it. It happened. That was a match.
Do you want a funny stat from the USL, or not the USL, the Opta post-game insight?
Please.
FC Tulsa have kept a clean sheet in 14 of their 34 games. Only Pittsburgh Riverhounds with 16 have done this more often in the USL Championship this season. And that described exactly how the game went because it was boring.
Yeah. Let's take a minute to appreciate the fact that Pittsburgh Riverhounds won this title, scoring 1 goal in the last 5 games. Their last game of the regular season and the entire postseason.
That's
1 goal.
Pretty impressive.
1 goal.
I mean,
1 goal.
Yeah. Wow. That is truly illustrious stuff. Gotta love it. Chevy in the chat. Hi from Levine. Patmos, the final where they just toss the trophy to the winner while celebrating in the corner. The game's gone. Yeah, you gotta love it. I mean, listen, this is we've seen these teams play some different brands of football for sure.
Can I just say, both teams at the end of this game, bearing in mind, of course, penalties don't count in this one. Pittsburgh Riverhounds hadn't conceded a goal for 709 minutes. FC Tulsa hadn't conceded a goal for 677 minutes.
Pretty good.
He's off.
He's off. Right. I mean, this was one, right? Looking at the stats, Tulsa playing at home on that beautiful, something of a pitch. Right.
It didn't look that bad.
No,
it looked mediocre.
Yeah. That's actually quite a compliment.
It is.
Right. They won the stats battle across the board, right? More shots on target, more big chances, all that stuff. But again, like, this is what you've seen when you get to these moments.
You know what? I really want to ask this one. What percentage of time, Reese, if you got Opta open, put it away. Put it away. Hide it.
Oh, we can't.
You can't see it?
I put it away.
I want to guess now. Give me a percentage of the time that the ball was in play for in this game.
40%.
Max, give me a number.
Sounds pretty. Go like 35.
It's right between the two. It was 37%, 37.7% roughly. 66 minutes the ball was in play out of 175 minutes.
That's
total.
disgusting.
Gosh.
Isn't that awesome?
Now, admittedly, that does that count? Is that trying to count penalty time as well? It may do. So maybe it skewed it slightly, but still pretty miserable.
Still pretty miserable. I mean, right, you're looking at how this match. I'll ask the more holistic question. Pittsburgh Riverhounds, right, your 2025 USL Championship final winners. When it all is said and done, were they the best team in USL Championship?
No.
Yeah.
That's the thing with the playoff format. It's hardly ever going to be the best team.
For sure.
And yet again, it isn't the best team. The best team got knocked out first round. Louisville lost to Detroit, and then Charleston, the second best team. If Tulsa had won, you could have maybe had an argument just because they're the best team in the West, but they probably would have been fifth in the East.
Sure, and that was gonna be the second part of my question, is especially for rising standards heading into next year and how that relates to them. FC Tulsa, would you put them as the best team in the West?
Yes.
Yeah, they were the best team in the West. I think I'll slightly push back on Reese's argument there. If they'd have probably finished fifth in the East, I'm not sure they finished quite that low. But I do think that they're not in the top two in the East. That's the key thing.
I'm assuming based on
I'm just
you're saying
vibes.
Fair.
I'd say that they're somewhere after Louisville and Charleston. They could be third. They could be fifth. Yeah, but they could be as high as third as well. In my mind, the main thing is just they are definitively behind Louisville and Charleston.
That's fair. Okay, I mean, right? You're looking at this match. Been oh goodness, what was it? Pat in the chat. No one was watching at 11 a.m. Anyways, it's that's tough, man. Tough.
I think you find it was 10 a.m. Arizona time.
That's fair.
Yeah. But it's big CBS. You got to do what you got to do to get on big CBS.
And then the game went to penalties, and they didn't do a trophy presentation. Can we talk about that? Can we talk about the union stuff?
Honestly,
I think that's actually more interesting than the football. Was the union stuff here, right? The players walking out with their shirts, t-shirts saying USL HQ Pro Rel. Was it? How about Pro Standards first?
Mm-hmm.
And as a result, there was no trophy presentation after the game. They just kind of handed them the trophy and left it at that, by the sounds of what the union's saying. Wow, this is a bit of an escalation, it feels.
Seems a bit harsh. Yeah.
A bit of an escalation. Of course, they're working on a collective bargaining agreement now over the winter. When you see this kind of drama, does this really fill you with confidence?
That there'll be a season next year?
It's a great way to start at the negotiation table. That's
you see what I'm saying, though? It's... I don't know. I'm not feeling too confident when I see things like that. It feels a bit dramatic. Yeah, and not really.
It's a statement, but like you've even seen this happen in other leagues where even if it is a bit dramatic,
the t-shirt's one thing. It's about the league reacts with not doing a trophy presentation. They just kind of hand them the trophy and leave. I mean,
it does seem kind of funny. Out of all the leagues do, is the USL Championship does.
Now,
they just kind of.
Yeah,
I do think that the big game being on big CBS probably did play a part into that because I mean, if you remember when Rising won the league, the guy, I don't know who it is at the league, but he was going his hand trying to make Rising hurry up their celebrations, and then the broadcast cut and it immediately goes to college football.
It wasn't the fact though that they didn't show it on TV, which is fine. I understand the fact that CBS wants to cut away. Why didn't they do it in the stadium? They didn't. That's the point. From everything we're seeing now from players, Pittsburgh players that seem really, really irritated.
Yeah.
Like, that just is nuts to me. You don't do that for the cameras necessarily on the live TV broadcast. That feeds you content for ages.
It's fair. That's fair. Pat in the chat, if you start the match in the evening, it's easier to cover going long.
True.
Don't disagree.
Your problem is, again, it's the CBS tax. You want to play on big CBS on a weekend when you're USL, you're going to play at that time, so you don't clash with college football.
Yeah.
They want to be on CBS Sportsnet, then they can probably kick off at a different time and be okay.
Yeah, that's true. Looking at this match as well, I mean, the only thing to know where you look at the a bit of, maybe not irony, but I guess the luck running out a bit. Stefan Lukic of FC Tulsa, right? It
was a terrible penalty.
I know. I mean,
awful.
Awful penalty.
I mean, yeah, but the guy who the flair for the dramatics all throughout the playoffs and tough moment.
Not worse than Quajo's, but gives it a run for its money.
I think it's one of those ones where by a lot of people, obviously, like any penalty save is a good penalty save, so on, so on, so on. I say that all the time. Eric Dick getting a lot of plaudits for the penalty shootout, and he made the one save that was just such an awful penalty that I didn't look at it and think good save. I thought, and he made one or two all right saves during the game. I'm afraid I still think he's getting gassed up a bit more than his actual
2024 goalkeeper of the year.
Yeah, that was
Golden Glove, whatever we call it.
You know what though? It's okay though, because as they say, about Pittsburgh, as we look at this team, you can kill a man, you can't kill an idea, and that was a Bob Lilly looking team right there.
Yes, it was. Wherever he is, whatever he's doing.
Oh boy, absolutely. Andrew in the chat, low. It's been a while, and Miss Pulse game ahead. You are catching up here. Anything else from this game we want to touch on?
I'm glad it's over. Because it was boring.
To go off of what Owen said there, I think it kind of goes off much to this 2025 season in a way where I'm glad it's over because it was boring.
And it wasn't just Rising. I don't think the league was...
No.
It was a bit of a boring season, I think, overall.
Yes.
When you look back at over the years of USL, I don't think this one's a highlight. I've seen much better seasons from teams in general. It was a bit dull.
I think when I look back at my life when I'm old, I will not remember this season.
I think you will, and I think it'll be...
look
why? Back and remember it.
Damning New Mexico.
Damning New Mexico.
Yes.
New Mexico.
That is the one. Well, we got more Rising stuff to talk about. New updates on roster moves and whatnot. Don't go anywhere. We will chat through that on the other side of this break. Well, we got to talk about our friends over at Circle K. We are in Studio K, presented by Circle K. Make sure to check them out, right? We had a fuel day last Thursday. Save up to that 40 cents per gallon. Reese is enjoying some fruit wriggly worms.
How many hot dogs do you think Reese did eat from Circle K?
I mean, if we're going off with the challenge last year, he got through 1.5. So
buddy,
I thought it was like 2.5.
That's fair.
That's disrespectful.
Sorry, put some respect on it. I mean, the Circle K hot dogs are delicious, of course. Maybe that gives them more of a fighting chance. But again, we don't want to be having a diamond on Circle K because that's more of a Reese thing. But right, current promotion they got going on for Inner Circle members only, which is a free membership program. All you need is to download the Circle K app and opt in with that phone number. Again, they got 79-cent Polar Pops, 99-cent Frosters. Of course, you can save 30 cents per gallon when you buy 3 12 to 16 ounce Celsiuses. There we go. They also have their meal deal matrices, $3, $4, and $5 meal deals, as well as some other promotions that we got coming up around the corner. Go check out our friends over at Circle K. Also, check out our friends over at Mount America Credit Union and their My Style checking. Everyone needs a checking account. Get the account with built-in benefits. Mount America's My Style checking account has perks just for you. You can enjoy restaurant deals, mobile phone protection, telehealth access, identity protection, loan rate discounts, offer on travels and events, and more. They are the proud partners of ASU, Phoenix Suns, Phoenix Mercury, and more. Make My Style your lifestyle at Mount America Credit Union. Very easy to do. Got to visit macu.com/mystyle to apply. There are a lot of credit card options out there. Make Mount America Credit Union your style with My Style. Insured by NCUA, membership required based on eligibility. Some benefits require no cost registration or activation. Terms, conditions, and exclusions may apply. Shout out our friends over at Mount America Credit Union.
Shout out the chat there. That last comment there. What a time.
Yeah. That's
read it out, Max.
Oh, the only thing I remember from this year from Pat is this. The SL2 keeper telling my son that Santa doesn't exist.
I will remember Owen not being at that game.
That
fake.
It's fair.
Yeah,
on the PHNX Rising podcast, got 2 things to mention as well, by the way. You're going out to the Territorial Cup on Friday. Big matchup. Go Devils. Right, we do have our PHNX
Max is a big Wildcats guy, actually.
Our PHNX Sun Devils live postgame show at Loco Patron, courtesy of our friends over at Captain Morgan. You can join our PHNX Sun Devils crew for a live post-game at Local Patron on Mill. Party on Mill. Gotta love it again. Doing a live show out there. The crew doing their darn thing. So go check them out if you are going to the game. If you're not going to the game, go check out our friends, PHNX Sun Devils crew over at Local Patron on Mill, courtesy of our friends over at Captain Morgan. And by the way, this is the big one. It is the Black Friday deal. Cyber Monday merch sale, 30% off, diehard early access sale all throughout, running from yesterday and all the way through Wednesday of this week, that diehard early access sale, and then Black Friday, Thursday, and then through Monday of next week. By the way, like, this is a legit thing. If you go on store.allcitynetwork.com and you look at the PHNX Rising section, they legit have $0 scarves. Like, I'm not talking about $1. I'm not talking about 25 cents.
There's some scarves in
$0. And, like, I don't know if that's a clerical error or not, but, like, go get them now. Pick up some other stuff while you're there. $0 scarves. That is free. That is free fitty right there. Go check it out today. Again, check out our store at allcitynetwork.com for those deals, that merch. Get some other stuff while you're there as well. Appreciate you guys supporting us, by the way. We're back here on the PHNX Rising podcast. We got to talk about some roster moves. It is that time of year. We got the announcement from the club today. There's a number of ways we can take this. I will start off with at least the Spark Notes. Rising retained 13 players, as according to their press release, making it the most consistent roster turnover since 2022 as the club enters year 2.
That was a great year.
With Pamadou Ka. That really,
was a fantastic year.
It is really saying something, considering that
that
is the bar, which, I mean, fair, in the last couple seasons, it has been upheaval throughout the entire roster as they reshape into their image. But essentially, the Spark Notes are: Rising retained 13 players from the team, including their 3 top goal-scoring contributors in all competitions, meaning Hope Avayevu, Isan Sako, and Charlie Dennis. So currently, and they did note that they are currently in contract negotiations with Pat Marboy, current captain. So currently under contract, 9 players: Isan Sako, Kelvin Rouse, Darius Johnson, Damon Rivera, Jamison Ping, John Eric Morso, JP Scearce, Colin Smith, and Rafael Jesus. And then options picked up: Charlie Dennis, Hope Avayevu, and Patrick Rakowski. Options extended: Daniel Flores. So those are
the people who've gone.
Correct.
The people who've gone. It's Remy Cabral, Emi Quaisho, Ryan Flood, Darius Formella, Tristan Henry, Harvey Neville, Noble Akello, Mo Traore, Sian Emmers, Asela Senge, and Carl Saint. Those last 2 obviously were on loan.
Correct.
And the parent club.
And the thing to note, like you mentioned, those two return to the parent club. Remy Cabral, Emi Quaisho, and Ryan Flood contracts expired, not renew as of now. We've seen these things change. Maybe there's a deal being worked on, maybe there's not, but as of now, contract expired, not renewed. Again, the key thing: declined options for Tristan Henry, Harvey Neville, Mo Traore, Noble Akello, John Emmers, and Darius Formella. There's a number of ways we can start with this. I guess I want to talk first about the players that are not returning to the team as of now. Any surprises that stick out?
Yes, to me.
Okay.
Just because I'm intrigued that you bring a guy in midseason then decline the option. John Emmers. I'm going to be full honesty. It's more so the fact that I can't believe that they signed a guy to have an option for a full year. I don't disagree with him leaving. I don't think he was good enough. I don't think we ever saw any true good performances from him. But
say how you really feel, Reese. Tell us how you really feel.
No, he wasn't good enough. That's the fact of the matter. But also, I just, the move to go out when you need a guy, when you need midfielders, and to bring him in mid-season, and to all of a sudden 5 months later, is it even that long? He's gone. Not because another club paid for him. That's not good business.
I feel as though the expectations from the club, effectively, you could take Jean-Eric Morsu and Sian Emmers and just kind of flip them.
Yes.
In terms of the reality.
Sure.
They were expecting Morsu to be, I think, a longer term, need to wait and he'll eventually contribute, some point next year. Obviously, he's on loan for a longer period. And the expectation was that you'd be waiting for him and then he'd turn good. In the end, it's Emmers who's been the guy who you've had to wait and hope is going to develop into something. We haven't seen that. I mean, Look, some of the other players in here, Tristan Henry was never good enough, never looked good enough.
No. Harvey Neville
shipped off quite soon because, of course, he didn't look good enough.
Rising allowed him to play.
Dariusz Formella, we know, obviously wants to be in Poland. Anyone who's been following him on social media will know that. Wants to be in Poland closer to his girl, and fair enough to him on that one. Remy Cabral doesn't hugely surprise me. They're letting him go. They were hoping, I think, to see a little bit more from him this year. Didn't pan out. Emi Quayshow again.
Andrew Dang in the chat. End of the era for Emi Quayshow. Emi Quayshow bangers.
When was the last time we got one?
I know.
Texoma, wasn't it? Texoma?
I mean,
the winner?
Even for what he has done, even if it was back in 2023, I mean, just...
Hey, Texoma was this year. Come on.
That's fair. That's fair.
He did it against the League One team.
Hey, who can forget?
Who's no longer playing football.
No, they play in League Two, I'll have you know.
Oh, you're right.
Emi Quayshow, again, I mean, doesn't hugely shock me that maybe he wants a new challenge, a new scenery. Ryan Flood, don't think this team was really building in a way to use him.
Sure.
He got some games late in the season because of injury, but I don't think they were ever going to look at using him that much. Noble Akello,
yeah,
less said the better.
Sure.
Mo Traore to injury pro, and then obviously Salah Senge and Carl Saint both in loan players.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't also not be shocked, to be clear, if some of the returners didn't come.
And we've seen this in seasons past, right? The options declined, or there's not that initial confirmation that they're under contract. There could be a rework deal in the works, but this is as things stand currently.
But I can see it being the other way around more. That's what I'm saying. I can see guys who have been announced as returning who don't come back next.
This is
like
also
Carlos Harvey happened to him.
Very true. Absolutely.
I mean, again, I'll say this one. A lot of people on here are going to talk about, I hope Avayevu, big scorer for the club last year. Do you want him back? I'm sure a lot of people, yes, will say that. I feel as though when I look at the change to the tactics, I'm not sure if it truly suits him. That's going to be a question going forward. Obviously, does he fit in that system?
Yep.
If he doesn't fit in that system, coming off a year like he's had, are you going to get his value any higher at any point going forward? And I don't mean to sell for money, but just in terms of anything you can get, are you ever going to get, is his stock ever going to be as high as it is right now? And that's part of the speculation here, especially if he doesn't fit the system that they want to play.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that he was poor in the playoffs, but I just don't think it gets the best out of him. And I think it's something whereby you realistically, if you want to be looking at, if they're playing a back five, if they're sticking with that, the kind of back three, back five, again, however you want to call it, to me, it doesn't necessarily fit him playing that false nine.
Yeah.
When you could have a better player in that kind of, who's more adapted to that specific kind of role, or offers more specific attacking threat in that kind of a shape. And to me, if that's the option, you've got to go with it, and therefore Hope's kind of frozen out at that point. He's not one of the deeper midfielders that sits in the midfield as it exists. When you play in that shape, he's effectively playing winger or the false nine. There's no in between for him, and so if you stick with this shape, I don't know if you really have room for him.
I think though he's too good of a player to build a system that does not feature the best capabilities of him, and I struggle to believe that this change in system was more so because of what the team had. I think that the reason they went to the back five was so they could have the best chance at succeeding in the postseason. Pamadou talked about how was his ethos for the club when he wants to play attacking football. That style of play, that tactic really. But
why would you stick with Danny Flores and Colin Smith then?
Because
those are guys that don't really work right in the back four.
We've seen both of them play in the back four, and
but
I think Colin
work. It didn't work is the point.
It scored goals. It played attacking football.
Did they win?
They got well into the playoffs.
Did they? Yeah, but they got into the playoffs in the end. We thought they were gonna mess it up, and the only reason they got in at the end is because they switched to this different shape at the end of the year.
But here's the thing: if you play like that for 30 games, you get branded as Pittsburgh Riverhounds, and no one wants to watch you.
And they won the league. Right? You can say
you're not going to copy that. You're not going to be able to copy that.
All right, how many teams? Now, I don't care how many goals they score. This team is going to be judged at the end of the season if they finish in the top 4, if they host a playoff game. If they don't host a playoff game,
how many teams have gone on to play like that and actually go on to win the league? You can't say it's every single team, and it's
San
not going to.
Antonio played awful football when they won the league. Under Alan Marcina.
You're just not. It's not going to work for every single team. And I think if Rising does that next season, it will lead to a bigger failure than it will because you're going to get.
What is the brand then? What is the brand then that wins this league? What is the brand that wins this league?
It's not going. It's you got to find the best of both worlds.
Is it? What is
best of both worlds? A mix of both. You got to have.
Okay, so who plays like that?
Teams that win. Louisville.
Louisville don't win the league.
Okay,
Louisville haven't won the league since 2018.
Louisville's legacy as a winning team. They make the conference final all but the last 2 years. They just had one of the highest points totals in league history.
But this team isn't Louisville. Most of the players they're bringing back still, as good as we look at them and think they are, would not get in Louisville's team.
I completely agree with that.
So but you can't play like Louisville.
Okay,
you can't play
but
like
you're not
Louisville.
But this goes back to the point. You're never, if you play that defensive and you drop probably either the first or second best player, there's a chance that Hope Avayevu is going to be the rising player of the year based off the polls. That is ridiculous. That's absurd to do that. That is one of your best players that you have out there. I think
you're building a system around him.
Yes.
Again, the way I look at it, the guy's 23. He had a good season here, but we didn't expect that coming in.
But you're going to drop him so you can play guys like Noble Akello or not Noble Akello, but JP Scearce. Like, you're not going to do that. You cannot. That's ridiculous. They don't have the 9. They haven't had the 9. They don't have
but
wingers.
If you resolve that and you look at the way this team ended the season...
Okay, if you resolve that...
They probably win quite a few of those games. That's the thing. If you add the finishing, they weren't necessarily that far away at the end of the year. And the finishing...
now we're talking about all sorts of ifs and buts.
But it's hard to do in terms of finding the right player to do it. But when you do it, it's very simple. Fixing the defending is completely different.
If Max had wheels on him, he'd be a bicycle. But he's not. He doesn't. He's a person. This is the type of ifs we're going through.
Okay, and if they play with Hope Avayevu in that same kind of system that they had last year, they're barely making the playoffs.
Well, okay, I think the bigger guys I'd see leaving off would be probably a Colin Smith and Daniel Flores, just because I think, even though those two guys have been confirmed back coming for now, I think that the way that you could play is not being as aggressive with your wing backs or full backs, back to the back 4, and then you could have Hope Avayevu in the squad.
It's not going to work with those guys.
But that's what I just said, is you get rid of those two guys.
But they've signed Colin Smith.
What we just talked about earlier, how you guys can move on.
No, they signed him to a brand new contract in the autumn.
And then Toronto FC could call today and say, hey, we'll give you X amount of money. And all
Man
of a sudden,
United could call up and ask to sign Noble Akello, and
exactly.
It's not going to happen. My point is, I genuinely expect they're probably going to stick with a back 5. I really do think that's what they're building to. They were signing players for that kind of a setup.
I will say that I will say that when they make their first offseason signing.
All right, that was riveting. That was nice. I'm very curious to see the moves from outside the organization of who they bring in. I think, to both of your points, that is going to be very telling. I think the truth is...
I have actually got one more, sorry. Can I just put to you?
By all
this
means.
one isn't going to cause, I don't think, the same kind
of... Oh, God.
Here's the question. Patrick Rakowski, you got rid of Tristan Henry. Patrick Rakowski, do you plan for it to go into the next season with him as your number 1 or your number 2 goalkeeper?
I'd hope, for this team's sake, number 2.
I would.
But, and I'll give you one option here. If you're given the choice of going out and signing a good goal scorer for your number 9 or replacing Patrick Rakowski,
talked about this a couple.
Which one do you go with?
We talked about this a couple of
I think Patrick Rakowski was better than I expected, even if I don't think he was star caliber this year. So if you can add a star caliber striker, I'd take that.
Goalkeeping is not the main. Is not the main necessity.
No.
Would you? All right. To me, this argument is: would you rather win 5-4 or 1-0? And I know it's not. That's much more complex than that. I don't know. I think the striker would be the name choice.
One goal some games, forget the 1-0.
But when they do score one, they concede 4.
For sure. I mean, it's something that we talked about even a few weeks ago of like, if Patrick Rakowski, if that is going to be your number one, you want to see an upgrade. He was right, like over the course of the season, had some stretches where with those penalty saves and everything was playing lights out, but like across the entire season, at best, he's a middle of the pack goalkeeper. At its worst, he's in the bottom third, being realistic about it. You want to see an upgrade there, but like this team has been crying out for a quality number 9 for really the last 2 years. And, that's where you need more of that depth, where that's been the disconnect. When you have that can keep you in games. And I think Rakowski does enough.
Here's what I'll say.
Sure.
In the Pat Moses comment, this is basically what it is. If they play as defensively as sound as they did the last couple of weeks, the forward will have a lot more impact. I think that if you make the switch to the back 5 full time, you get the forward. If you make the switch to the back 4, probably the goalkeeper.
I can accept that. It depends on which way they're going. Yeah,
and also because the back 4, or when they were playing that back 4 system, they're getting goals from all over.
Yeah. To what you guys were going on about, it's going to be, I think a lot of this is going to be dictated by the players that they bring in outside. And I mean, this is probably even more of a philosophical conversation, but like, I think the whole thing that we were talking about, even when we're asking the question, right, is Pittsburgh the best team in the East, Tulsa the best team in the West, all that stuff is, I'm going to be curious what we define as success, what the fan base defines as success is. We even saw this too, back in 2023, PHNX Rising won the USL Championship final. They were the champions, but they were not the best team in the league. So I guess that's going to be, I think, more of the philosophical question I raise, and I'm curious as next season progresses, is PHNX Rising, right? Reese is saying that they can't play that back 5 defensive football the entire time, make it all the way to the final. But to be fair, we have seen that in spurts down the stretches in playoffs. Owen is saying, well, you need to in order to get to that point, but we haven't seen teams play like that over the course of an entire season, by and large, for the most part. So it's going to be interesting to see which one prevails and whether we're looking at PHNX Rising as being successful based on how are they ending the regular season, which we have seen in years past, have not done that, have not had that home field playoff match in years. Or are they going to say, hey, we're going to squeak in and getting that championship like we did in 2023? That's success. So that's where I'm curious.
See, to me, it's just if you add a 15-goal striker up top, the back 5 system works. It's not going to be pretty. It may not be necessarily the way that Palma Dukara has sold it when he first came in as wanting to play exciting football. But you also want to play effective football, let's be honest. It feels as though if you add the right center forward, it can work.
But do you trust this team to be able to find the right center forward? Because over the last few years,
it's a valid point. And I think that they've struggled a lot in that in general. But my point would be more that I don't trust this team half the time to sign the right people anyway. I think Noble Akello is an example. Well, I think Emmers was not the right guy at the right time for this club.
And my question as well is, I'm not even at the point to where I'm thinking we should play back 4, play back 5. I'm really curious to who they bring in, because my other thing is, where I'm curious at is, was the back 4 a failure just based on the formation, how it was executed, or did they not have the right players in the midfield, which we're now even seeing a lot of those same guys are no longer with the club currently?
I'm not sure it's midfield. I think it's defense.
I think it was a lot of transition.
I think they were really ropey at the back as well. But they were really ropey at the back. The defenders lost a lot of players. Think about how many times we commented on how they'd lose someone at the far post.
Yeah, I think it was both. I think also when
we're getting all philosophical in the PHNX Rising.
When you're playing that open, I just don't trust, and I didn't trust JP Scearce and Noble Akello to be in that midfield alongside Hope Avayevu. I think that JP Scearce can play a role. He can do a job. He is good when you want to bunker down and be defensive minded. I think if you want to be progressive and you want to, be entertaining, he's not the 6 for you. And Okello definitely isn't the 8 for you.
No. I just the one thing, and I mean, it's going back again. So you come out and do you trust them to get the right guy? I don't know what. And Pat's kind of brought it in here with like they need to bring in a couple of guys who are proven in this league, not random out of form guys from European third divisions. I don't know what this club's at. I understand players that are proven in this league cost money, and part of the I think the approach that Rising are taking is it is sometimes The idea that you can maybe get better value, maybe these are guys you can move on. You're developing players. There's all these different factors that go into it, but I just don't understand. If you really want to compete in this league, you can't be allergic to signing a guy who scored a dozen goals in the league last year. And this club is allergic, it feels lately, to doing that. Ever since 2023,
Peter Wilson
won't do it. I'm not saying Peter Wilson's the guy.
Clubs that have been built correctly and the ones who are continuously challenging year after year, they are going to use data and they are going to find those guys that do work out from the European third divisions and using those ones to find the diamonds in the rough. But they are also filling out the top end
here's the thing.
You're filling out the top end of your roster with the right players. It can't be one or the other. It has to be both. It has to be both. And they're doing one. They're not doing the other. They're not going after the proven players.
Right, and that's the thing. If you bring in two strikers, one of whom is proven in this league, and one of whom is a bit of a swing for the fences kind of guy from some random league that you kind of hope he's going to play him out of a role, go for it. But
I mean, that's kind of what Rising did in 23. Obviously, both Arteaga and Trejo were USL guys, but Arteaga never had a season remotely close to that before coming here.
I think he had one where he got double digits.
Was it one? I thought he was like right on the verge.
That, I believe.
Okay.
I believe he had one where he had a pretty decent year, and it was very much, he wanted to hope that he would.
We're getting us on the subject, but it is Bluebird. We need a new Zambrano. Andrew in the chat, the team that felt like forever ago. Oh, wow. Carlos Harvey, Penos Harmonacas, Erison Gallardo, Manuel Arteaga, John Stenberg, Emi Cuejo, Darnell King. Yeah, there's been a lot of, guys who have been at this level before for Phoenix Rising. And this club is, they chose to not go that direction. Again, when we came on this, this pod at the beginning of the season, as they're making roster moves, it's like, you can win over people with this entirely new roster and younger players who have not proven in this league if you win early. But if you don't, and if you're going to have the season like you do, you're going to get people calling for it. You need more experience. We're at a pretty similar point this year. Yes, you're bringing in guys who you've been in the Palma Dukas system, and you hope that these guys, they have a taste for it at this league. You, of course, to their credit, yes, they did bring in guys like a Charlie Dennis who has been proven at this league. But I think you need more of that at your top end while still solidifying the rest of the starting 11, the rest of the bench. It's going to be a long season with some of those other guys where you can find diamond in the rough, but you have to go after some of those quality players.
I'm also going to say this now. Some of those guys are expensive. I understand that, the expensive strikers. But how much does it cost you to be missing a home playoff game year after year after year after year? That's a lot of money for the club. How much does it cost you when the stands are half empty?
Yeah.
Let's be real, right? All of those things... Yes, you want to be smart with how you're spending your money, but you've also got to put some in to get some out.
100%.
Yeah,
100%. We got a lot to chat through, and we got even more Rising news. We'll chat through it on the other side of the break. Shout out our friends over at Rally House. Again, we're talking about Territorial Cup, right? It's on Friday. Ocean's running high on this podcast. It's going to be running high on Friday. ASU versus U of A. We know who we're going for, and you can rep that team's gear over at Rally House. It is the go-to spot for all your favorite local Arizona team gear. Tens of thousands of products to shop from. Again, they have the 3 locations in the Valley: Tempe, Mesa, and Glendale today. But also, you can check them out online at rallyhouse.com. They have all the different things, right? We're not just talking about shirts and jerseys and other team gear, but we're talking about the obscure stuff. You want to rep your fandom on a game day, you're going to Mount America Stadium to go cheer on the Sun Devils. I mean, maybe you, if that's your thing, but you got something.
No, we don't acknowledge you.
You got something. We don't. But they got something for everyone, right? As well as Suns, D-backs, Phoenix Rising, Phoenix Mercury, everything over at our friends at Rally House. Again, check out their 3 in-store locations or go to rallyhouse.com today to check them out and everything they have, especially with Black Friday around the corner. Also, shout out our friends over at the Husband and Wife Law Team. Do your research. After an accident or serious injury, the lawyer you hire does matter. Mark and Alexis Breyer are the Husband and Wife Law Team. Phoenix is their home, where they've raised 8 children and where their focus is always about client results and giving back to the community, right? They're doing so much for the community. They're always popping up with different learning literacies, different community initiatives, giving back. They're follow their newsletter. They have amazing stuff and all of these cool resources where you can just support a local the husband and wife law team where they are doing a ton of things for local business and for the local community. Check them out, what they have going on. Again, their team brings hundreds of years of combined trial experience and multiple certified specialists in personal injury and wrongful death. It's important to do your research. That is what they are all about. If you had a serious injury, call the husband and wife law team first. 602-783-8841. Again, that is 602-783-8841. Or visit the website at the link in our show notes and tell them PHNX sent you. Ooh, a lot of debate on the PHNX Rising podcast, which we so absolutely love. There's more philosophical stuff we can always get into, gentlemen, but I believe it might be that time for PHNX Rising End of the Year Awards.
Go on then, right. So here's what we're going to do. I know who's won here. These boys don't, actually. So what we're going to do, we're going to let the two of you introduce these award by award, and you can read out the short list.
Go to the Twitter, Max.
Go to the Twitter.
Sorry, I'm already there, man.
So
good for you.
We have quite a lot of categories. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 categories of awards, and we're going to go through these now. So the first award is for the best win of the season. Max, you want to take it away?
So best win of 2025 shortlist. We got San Antonio away 2-1. I mean, this is actually right where Rising was like really kind of on that opening skid, kind of brutal, and got a surprise win in that afternoon slot. Ended up making it happen. New Mexico, kind of same thing. Rising was coming off that midweek match. I believe they ended up winning away, and then they go away again to New Mexico, 2-1, win there too. And El Paso away.
Oh, it was Houston, wasn't it?
It was. Oh, that's right. It was Houston Thank you. It was the Houston loss at home. And they played 120 minutes, brutal. And they're like, how are you going to go to New Mexico, leading the league at the time? Ended up with a nice 2-1 win away from home. And then the other one, all three of these are away wins. El Paso away, a 1-0 victory.
All right, boys, what are we thinking? I want to hear your thoughts here.
Well, the one I picked didn't make the short list. I picked the Orange County 3-1 win. Just because I felt like that's when the club looked like it was turning a corner. Were they? No. I think it'll be El Paso quarterfinal.
He's getting in the awards spirit here, our boy Reese, isn't he? He really is getting in the awards spirit. Max, what do you think?
It's tough. I mean, the way I went against El Paso, I mean, it was significant in terms of how they gutted out, but I just don't know how complete of a performance. I think, even though there was some flaws in it, I think it was, for me, the New Mexico away, especially how they responded given the context of losing at home to Houston. You're thinking, they're going to get run off the pitch. And I think, to me, given the circumstances, that was one of the better, not better performances, but I think results. One of the better results of the season.
Okay, right. Well, the way I normally will announce these is I'll give you the third place and eliminate that one. For this one, it doesn't really work because they both finished tied for second. So the winner was... it was the El Paso playoff game.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not the most exciting game.
That's what they do.
But that one was pretty much driven by the fans.
Was it I know you mentioned the other two were tied at second. Was it a big gap?
So the weighted vote comes in at about 25% for the El Paso playoff versus 16% for the other ones. Okay.
The best win being a match that they should have drawn against New Mexico would perfectly encapsulate the season. Gotta love it.
Absolutely. Right. Goal of the season. Reese, you want to introduce this one?
The goals of the season, Mo Traore's halfway clearance.
We said it's a clearance.
4-4 drop.
He said it was a clearance.
He said it was a clearance.
He told us it was a clearance.
That's right.
Damian Rivera's pirouette against Rhode Island. As someone who took a ballet class last week, that's a pretty good goal. And then Darius Johnson's goal with against El Paso, where he just carves up El Paso's defense. Now Rising ended up drawing that match 3-3 after leading 3-0. I picked Damian Rivera's goal because, that's as a ballet professional, I was quite impressed. What about you, Max?
The ballet boy. I also agree. Damian Rivera. I mean, listen, the Mo Traore one, I would not be surprised if it wins just from the pure shock value. Whenever you get a near midfield goal, it's going to be impressive no matter what happens. But
Like Richarlison on
I knew.
Sunday.
I honestly knew that was going to come up. So that's on me, which would be forgotten because the team sucks. Damon Rivera, that goal. I mean, just to do that in any circumstance is just incredibly difficult. But you're in the box, being closed down, to have the presence of mind and the calmness to do that in such a tight knit area. That is class personified.
Okay, so we'll start by eliminating the third place.
Oh,
with 9% of the weighted votes.
Ooh, tight.
Is Darius Johnson versus El Paso.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. That was it was a good goal. It was kind of Maradona-esque, wasn't it? The way he just took it the whole length of the field. Maybe a bit much there. Am I wrong?
First time in the same
halfway line.
No, I remember he tweeted that.
Calm down, Maradona. Yeah,
and I thought, did he use his hand? Did he punch it into the back of the net?
It's the one that follows
and then
it up.
And then I saw the video and went, oh, okay.
The other one,
the one that followed it up, where he just kind of ran past everybody. Great goal. And then the winner. So this one's a little bit closer with 32.3% of the weighted vote. Your goal of the season was Damian Rivera against Rhode Island. Correct call, by the way, everyone. Shout out to you for voting correctly for this one. Yeah, what a goal! Just it's the flick, it's the control, it's just everything.
Pirouette.
Everything about it was just perfect. Right, we'll do the positional awards before we move on now to the have another ad break and then we'll finish things off. We'll go with the positional awards. So best defender.
Best defender on the short list, we got your captain, Pat Marboy, Daniel Flores, and Asel Asenge.
Yeah, so 8 people actually received votes in this category.
Got a lot
I do not agree with that.
Quite a bit of a mix. I'm not sure I agree with everyone who voted in these ones, but
I don't like this one. This is
this
is a weird short list.
This is one of
4 players made it over 10% of the vote share, by the way.
This is one of 2 short lists where I don't think there really is one.
The 4th was Braxton Montgomery.
Oh,
Pat Moses brings up
I'm going to say Pop just because he's the captain.
All of these guys, I mean, then he's like Pat his time, and there's, I mean,
then he had a couple of red cards that were dumb.
Was very inconsistent, especially.
And Flores was not defense optional, but he wasn't known for his defensive capability.
I don't really like it. I'm gonna go maybe just based on not even consistent. I'll go Danny Flores, and I don't even feel good about that. I really don't. I'll just go Danny Flores. Yeah,
I said Pop.
Pop. Well, here's the thing: 3rd place with 17% of the vote was Asel Asenge.
Okay.
Oh.
And the winner with 28.7% of the weighted vote is Daniel Flores.
Wow. Whoa.
Did he win the media vote?
He did win the media vote. He had about 50% of the media vote.
Yeah.
And that kind of helped him out quite a bit there. Pap had the edge on the fan and diehard vote, but that was though still a bit closer than the media was. So. Yeah.
Best midfielder.
Best midfielder.
Short list.
Max, here's what we're going to say. Before, sorry, Max isn't doing this. It's Reese.
It's Reese.
Right. But Reese, I'll say this now. The 3 players in here on your short list were the only 3 players in the midfield to receive votes.
That does not shock me because you look at the rest of the midfield.
Oh, go on then, Reese.
Charlie Dennis, Hope Avayevu, and JP Scearce.
That's true. Now, this one is quite a definitive answer.
Hope
the
Avayevu.
winner actually received 76.2% of the weighted votes. And in 3rd place, boys, who do you think? Hope wins, you think?
I think JP Scearce is going to be 3rd.
You think
yes. I agree with that.
I'm going to rule that out. Let's steal the thunder.
And in 3rd place, Hope Avayevu.
What?
Yeah.
Yo.
With 11.2% of the vote.
Wow.
Hope Avayevu.
I'm shocked.
Finished 3rd.
Stunned.
I voted
Shock
Charlie.
and awe.
But
well, now I gotta go Charlie
JP Scearce finished.
And the winner with 76.2% of the vote.
Charlie Dennis.
Meaning, by the way, that the 2nd place person got 12.6% of the vote. So not much in it.
Wow.
Charlie Dennis wins.
Yeah,
Charlie Dennis is the best midfielder.
That's a guy.
People want JP Scearce over Hope.
It's true. Right. Best forward, Max. Come on, before we have an ad break.
I also
take
think
ads
just
after
like the
this.
defenders, I don't feel good about these. Short list: Gerald, Margarita, Isan Sako, and Darius Johnson.
Shout out to 4th place Damian Rivera and 5th place Remy Cabral, by the way.
These guys not even.
Who's going to win, boys?
Damian Rivera, who missed half the season.
Still got 10% of the vote.
This is a tough one because, like, I mean,
Including
when he was, if you put the like his output given when he was on the club, and even it wasn't like he was scoring every match, but like Dro was like one of the hottest players in the league for a stretch, and I don't think I could say that about either of the
If
other
I give
guys.
you a vote breakdown.
Yeah, please,
Will this help?
please.
3rd place, 11.2% of the weighted vote.
Yeah.
Oh.
2nd place was 26.5% of the weighted vote. And 1st place came in with 45.3%.
Yeah.
I think
of the weighted vote.
I think also the people just aren't rocking with Isan Sako.
That's kind of what I'm thinking
Darius
too.
Johnson
Like just by
that.
process of elimination, even if I don't
place.
necessarily, I think it's going to be Gerald's going to win this.
This isn't going to surprise you. 3rd place was DJ, Darius Johnson.
Yeah.
And the winner, the best forward of 2025, Jill Margarita.
Isn't that sad?
With
Guy left in what, June?
45.3%.
Isn't that crazy? I mean, that tells you everything
the fan
about this
vote
forward line.
Very clearly went his way, very strong for Jill. The media vote slight to Sako, but it was Sako with Jill right behind him. So, yeah.
Gotta love it. We will do some more. We got, what, 4 more categories? 4 more categories.
Yes, 4 more categories when we come
On the
back.
PHNX Rising podcast
big
on the other
ones.
side of this break. Well, you know, it's around the time of year, Thanksgiving, you know, for those who celebrate. You need to fuel
Is
up
this
on...
where you were last week, Max? We
fuel up-
were saying last week.
Fuel up
were
on some food. And,
you
you know,
enjoying the Pure Edibles last week?
Good way to do that is with our friends over at Pure Edibles. Find a little extra room in your stomach for Thanksgiving. I'm not a doctor, but I think that might help. Pure Edibles is found in Arizona and is available in 130 dispensaries statewide. Created in Flagstaff at Noble Herb Dispensary, the home of Pure Edibles, and is now made in Phoenix, Arizona. Again, that's the thing that a lot of our folks around PHNX that they enjoy about Pure Edibles is it's labeled well, right? They taste good. It's a full-fledged candy company offering gummies, kicks, their version of Starburst, chews, soft candies like caramel, hard candies. The effects are clearly listed. You know exactly what you're getting. Super important, right? There's the difference between what's CBN, what's CBD, THC, all that stuff. Pure Edibles has you covered. It can be ripped or bit in half, making them easily shareable or an easy way to get the exact dose you are looking for. Go find yourself some Pure Edible products from one of their over 130 dispensaries across Arizona. Also, shout out our friends over at Gila River Resorts and Casinos. It is the way to watch all the game day vibes and everything like that. Again, if you're going out to the Territory Cup, that's awesome. But if you're not, well, great way to watch and take in that experience is over at our friends at Gila River Resorts Casinos. They got 4 value locations. Of course, my favorite Wild Horse Pass and their upper deck viewing area, which that's conveniently where you can find all of our PHNX Cardinals away game watch parties. Which one coming up on Sunday? They got the early slate as well in the morning. Gila River Resorts Casinos, not just a great place to watch the game, which it is, but it's also a great place to stay, to host family members there. If you don't want them to stay at your house, have them go over to Gila River Resorts and Casinos. Have them stay there. There are 4 locations throughout the valley. What? Of course, they got largest casino floor in the valley. It's a fantastic time. You do you with their friends over at Gila River Resorts Casinos. Visit playatgila.com for more details.
Yeah. Right, let's move on. Let's finish this off. Right. Best mid-season acquisition. Reese.
Gian Emmers, Rafael Shihos, and Jean-Eric Mercier.
Yeah, so there were 6 players who got votes in this one. Shout out to the one person who voted for Calvin Arase.
Hey,
shout out you.
Now this one was actually pretty close between the 2 winners. I'm
gonna process elimination.
5% vote share between the 2 of them. It was 41.3 and 36.3.
I'm gonna go Emmers is a third there.
Yes.
Okay. Interesting. Man, I think stylistically, I like more so did, but I might go.
I voted Morsu, and I think that
I will be fair. Shihos added a lot. I think in the back 5 when he came in.
I think,
but I also think that a lot of the system boiled down to Morsu being in there.
While true, I still don't think they even had the bodies to play a back 5 actually without Shihos.
Yes,
agreed. And I think longer term, Granted, yes.
Longer term, will Suka prove the better
exactly.
player.
I think Shiho's.
And that is with right to buy.
A lot of that.
By the way.
Yep, a lot of that leadership and everything like that. I think I'm convinced. I'll go Shiho's.
Right. In third place with 11.2% of the vote.
Yeah. Shihan Emmers.
There we go.
Yeah.
Lucky guess.
And the winner, your 2025 best mid-season acquisition with 41.3% of the votes. Jean-Eric Moussu.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go.
Cool.
Bang.
Yeah.
Very muted reaction from the boys here.
Yeah.
Right. Unsung hero. Now,
Who won this last year?
I don't
Unsung
remember.
hero last year.
I think like half of the awards last year were just
I know, but I
Zambrano.
feel someone still on this club last year.
No.
That's not going to
Do
do
you
it.
want me to try and have a look? I'll look for it now.
Well,
Fair enough.
yes, for unsung hero, the short list: Asela Senge, Patrick Rakowski, JP Scearce.
Yeah.
I don't believe in a goalkeeper ever being your unsung hero.
Too much teed up for them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
I
kind
tend
of the
to agree.
expectation.
But also, but if we're also thinking who's going to win, I mean, I could see that being the case for him.
It was Renzo Zambrano last year.
Yeah, Renzo
That's
Zambrano won it ahead of Lawrence Wyke and Emi Quayshaw.
What a
and the year
trio.
before in 2023 it was Jose Hernandez.
That's crazy.
How on earth did
Do we continue the trend with
of
midfield action?
midfielders that aren't progressive? JP Scearce.
I mean,
keep the trend going.
12 players received votes in this.
Honestly, just for even though I think Patrick Rakowski would win,
This one was not tight, and I'll give you a bit of a thing here. So, on a tiebreaker for third, by the way, because there was someone who also would have been there, but we didn't include because when it came down to tiebreaker, we ignored the weighted vote and just went straight up who received the most ballots if you finished dead level, which I think is perfectly fair.
Yeah.
Charlie Dennis would have just snuck onto this list as well. Then when you look at above that, then there's a lot of people hanging around that 10% margin. Gal Saint, Jean-Eric Moussu also are right around there. Third place gets 11.2%. Second place gets 12.6%. First place got 22.9% of the vote. Pretty big one on the weighted vote. But in third place, your third place is Asela Senge.
Yeah.
And so the winner, your unsung hero, is either Patrick or JP. 22.9% of the vote, the weighted vote. Your unsung hero for 2025 is JP Scearce.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Dude, the trend continues.
Okay.
The trend continues. You can't beat the trend.
Yeah. All right. Well, Reese.
Young player of the year.
Young player of the year. This one, I'll give you a bit of it. 7 players received votes.
Shortlist is Jameson Ping.
What was the cutoff, by the way, for Young? Because actually is relevant for this team.
It's the exact same as the league one. So that's what I just pulled it from.
Okay.
And it was, I believe...
23? I think 23 or 22. Regardless.
Let me pull up what the league rules are on this one.
Good quality.
Yeah.
We did also implement you must have played a certain number of games, which is why some people didn't count. But the cutoff for birth date was that you must have been born after the 1st of January 2003.
Yes.
Jameson Ping, Colin Smith, and Braxton Montgomery.
Boys, this is the second most prestigious award I think we're handing out tonight.
Because the 2 previous winners, Popmore Boy and Rocco.
There's a pathway to success, is what I'm hearing.
Pathway.
So
we might be
choosing like the future Phoenix Rising Player of the Year, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe, man.
No pressure. No pressure.
Well, that would be bad if Braxton Montgomery won it, man.
This was a
We could be in
tight
trouble.
one. 27.4% of the weighted vote to 26.0% of the weighted vote.
I'm saying Braxton wins it.
I that was my gut. Yeah.
In third place, with 14.8% of the weighted vote, is Jameson Ping.
Yep.
Yeah.
And again, it's 27.4% to 26%. This is tight for the winner.
All right.
Your 2025 Phoenix Rising Young Player of the Year is... No drum roll on this one? No build up?
Look out the time.
Braxton Montgomery.
Yeah, okay.
There we go.
Okay.
Fair enough. Makes sense.
Yeah.
He was, I think, very, very good when he came in. Just for this club relied on him in a lot of ways for a young kid.
So just thrown into it. My
and
word.
I think that he didn't look out of place.
No.
He struggled a little towards the end, but some of that I think is also just fatigue.
Yes.
And now, here we go, boys. the player of the year.
I mean, considering
where have we seen this shortlist before?
Well,
the midfield.
The midfield.
Well, and considering how
you know what the funniest thing is?
Hold on, the year came in third, right?
What?
He came in third on that midfield list. So how? I mean,
wrong. That is wrong.
I mean,
so the shortlist, boys, you can split the intro to this one. I'm staying out of it.
I mean, it's
okay.
JP Scearce.
Oh, Avayevu
And Charlie Dennis.
There's a bit of anger in that.
There was a lot there. Yeah.
I was just trying to change the vibe from what Max did.
They were the only 3 players that received votes.
Wow. Okay.
Makes sense.
Sure.
For player of the year. In third place with 2.2% of the votes was JP Scearce.
Now, how on earth does he finish second in the midfield?
That's kind of insane.
What are we doing?
That really doesn't
fellas?
make
What are we doing?
That's nuts.
Voters do what they do.
You crazy, man.
And with
Make sure to update your resume,
84.3%
whoever wins.
of the weighted votes, your 2025 PHNX Rising Award winner for Phoenix Rising Player of the Year
For the drum roll, by the way, I'm going to need everyone in the chat, and I'm going to need producer extraordinaire Arrington. I'm going to need you to hop in as well.
Any day now.
Charlie Dennis.
Yeah.
There we go. Your player of the year, Charlie Dennis, with 84.3% of the weighted vote. He actually carried the media vote unanimously.
Wow. All right. Lots going on in the comments. We got congratulations. We got Pat saying Braxton Player of the Year. Feels like watching a talent show. We got all the things. There's probably snubs that people are kind of going through. Anything in retrospect, chat that the voters got right, got wrong?
Midfield.
Yeah, but do you think it's Hope or Charlie?
No, I think it's Charlie, but Hope's second. JP Scearce just is not second.
I would agree.
How many votes were in that? Let me have a look. There was like 1 vote in that. To be clear, one more person that voted, it would have probably flipped.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
There we go.
That's pretty nuts.
The awards are done. The season is over. The year is done.
The season is final. Well, that's cool. I think we do have to address should we address the elephant in the room?
Go on, Shrimpy.
Alrighty. Well, this will be our last PHNX Rising podcast for the year. We will pick it back up once the season gets going. Still a to be determined on the official date. Probably some more time in February is kind of what we're pushing. We will, of course, be here for a number of things, right? So it doesn't mean that things are stopping completely. So first off, if there's anything worthy of an emergency podcast, right? Which, if that'll be anything from a big name signing, if there's goodness freaking hope not at this point, but like a different.
If Reese does the hot dog challenge,
Reese does a hot dog challenge. If there's a coaching change, if there's anything,
it's not going to be a coaching
I'm
change.
just saying.
I'm
just saying. But
they're not getting rid of him.
I know, or an addition, whatever. I'm just throwing it out there. We're putting out everything out there. But if anything comes up, we will be out there for a emergency podcast.
We would do one for that as well, Pat, if it were to happen.
That is correct. That's correct. Additionally, right, follow our feed, right? We're going to be good chance we're experimenting with even some audio-only podcasts, especially if there's something that maybe isn't quite emergency podcast related, but let's say, hey, there's a new
chat for 15, 20 minutes about it.
Yeah, there's a new player. There's a couple new players that are announced. We're not going to do an emergency pod, but maybe we'll do an audio-only episode where you can find it in your podcast feed of choice. That's noteworthy. Of course, follow us on the Twitter at PHNX__rising. And also make sure if you are a diehard, hop in the Discord. We will be sharing updates in there as well. If you're not a diehard, consider becoming a diehard, especially during Black Friday with the sale we have going on.
Keep an eye out for written content as
yes,
well.
of course.
Written content keeping up
by Owen. Reese been throwing some in there as well. He's
throwing some in over the course of the year.
Yeah, so there's a lot of ways there's a lot of that's what I said. So there's a lot of ways. Okay, there's a lot of ways.
You look like you needed reminding then that you'd done that.
I have,
okay, you did it. Good job. Okay, so there's a lot of ways.
Yeah, I did.
I mean, to be fair, Reese is going to be a bit busy this winter because the Darts World Championship coming up soon.
Okay, let's not bury this. Let's not bury the plot on our last show. Our last show of 2024.
You're ready for the last run for John McDonald?
Absolutely. Okay. The real reason this show's pausing is because it's being rebranded into the PHNX Darts Show over Christmas.
Oh, we should do a darts podcast, to be fair.
I will.
We should.
Anyway,
there's darts pod. Electric.
There's a lot of different ways. Follow us in the meantime.
Who's winning? Who's winning Ali Pally? Luke? You going Luke?
Okay, anyway, sure. So in the meantime, you know where to follow us. This has been the last episode.
You know where to find us too, in front of the TV watching the World Darts Championship.
Rising podcast. Appreciate everyone joining us here, not just today, all year round and into the off season. Follow us on Twitter at PHNX__rising. Double the underscore.
Double the darts.
Double the darts.
Double the darts.
Oh, Merry football dartsmas.
Merry football dartsmas, everybody. Merry football dartsmas.
That's something for those who.
That's an actual ad campaign.
Yeah, no, I know. You can. Oh boy. You can follow me on Twitter at Max David Simpson. You can follow Owen on Twitter at OJ Evans18. You can follow Reese on Twitter at Reese11_. You can follow or to behind the brand.
Hang on, there's more sport over the winter as well. Let's talk about how England started their Ashes campaign.
I was trying to hype you so much. You just interrupted.
The England and Wales cricket board.
No one
England
cares.
and
You're playing the
Wales
flag.
is with us too.
No,
Wales is with us too.
This is like a hostage situation.
Wales is with us too.
No, thank you.
Join us the next time. It's a beautiful game. It's way more beautiful when you get a break from.
When it's Merry Football Darts,
Merry Football Darts.
We all silly like the mayor.